So I'm going to make sure that all photos is checked. They're all in here. And even though there's 2 sessions in this import, I'm just going to import it into one folder and I'll separate them out later. So this was the Billman family on 2/21. And I name my galleries after the date, name of the family, and type of session. Well, family session. Then everything's good to go. I hit import. And while this is importing, I am going to speed through it again, just so you don't have to sit there and watch it all. Now that everything is imported, I'm going to come back over here, make sure that my cloud is still syncing. Let's separate these albums out first. So I'm going to come down here to where the new one starts. Select it all the way down to the bottom. Right click in the parent folder, create folder. This was last night. Okay, so those are all going to move out really quick. Now I'm going to do right click, create collection. Keep it named the same thing, sync with Lightroom, create. I'm also going to create a collection for the girls. So what this does is it syncs the session to the cloud. You can see here that it's in the process of syncing so that I can access all of my pictures from my iPad. And you can see here that there are lots of different colors. Each one means something different. So 5-star images get colored green because they are good ones that I'm going to go through. The yellow ones are rated 3 stars, so they're still good. They're just duplicates of the green ones. Red means that they are, somebody has eyes closed, but sometimes that's okay because it's creative. And then purple ones are blurry, but I still like to keep those just in case. So to cull these down, I turn on my filters and I filter out flagged and unflagged pictures that are rated 5 stars or higher. So you can see here that it took out 300 of the 692 pictures. So of the whole session, I only have to go through 300 of them. This is the same way that I filter out images on my iPad when I cull. To decide which images to keep, I just hit P for pick. I'll show you really quick here. I just run through, click P. I don't reject any images unless they're like really bad. And I just go through quickly. So I would do this for the entire session. And just run through. But this is what I do on my iPad. I just much prefer sitting on the couch to cull. So you can see that they are syncing, they're going. To make sure that they are currently syncing, you need to make sure that it has the double arrow. If it has the dot underneath the arrow, that means that it is making changes. The one with the double arrow means that it has already synced. So just to show you, here's a previous session that I have culled, and to see the images that I synced from it, I'm just going to turn on the filter. I get rid of all the extra filters and I only go through the flagged photos. So these are the pictures that I culled from my iPad, and I just use P for pick to flag them, and that's how I know which ones to edit. I'm going to show you how I cull from my iPad. So the very first thing that I do is I click this filter button. I select flagged and unflagged images that are rated 5 stars. So you can see here that it took my 705 images and only pulled out 382 for me to go through. So that's about half. So from here, I'm going to go into the first image. I'm going to make sure that down here in the bottom right corner, the star menu is selected, which is what will allow me to start rating. So I swipe on the left side of my screen to change the star rating. Clearly this was just a test shot and it was not a very good one. So this one I will reject. To pick or reject, you put your finger on the right side of the screen and either swipe up or swipe down to pick or reject. You're flagging it or not. Since this was just a test image, I will reject it. I'll keep that one. I like to tell stories when I'm going through sessions, so I include a lot of the behind the scenes too. This was a sweet little elopement that I had on the beach. They had these really cute vow books that had pictures and their vows inside, so it was a really special memento. And basically, to call on your iPad, you just swipe back and forth. Depending on your internet, it may take a bit longer to load. I don't always have issues with it. You can also look down at the bottom of the screen. It tells you how many stars this image is rated and whether it's flagged or not flagged. So this is all that I do. I just flip through, look for the pictures that I like. All right, so just to show you what it looks like, we're just gonna pretend that I have culled through this whole gallery. So once I've done that, I will remove these filters so that I'm only looking at the images that I have chosen. The only filter I have applied is the flagged images. So once I've gone through, I'll take a second run through just to make sure that I don't have any that are too repetitive and any that I might have changed my mind on. These are very similar, but I prefer that the second one has all their feet in it. And yep, once it's done with that, you can look up here in the top corner. It is syncing, and all of the flagged images will be updated in my Lightroom catalog on my desktop.